What is going on, guys? It's your boy Slick, and today we're here for our second video, and it's not so much about the gameplay. The gameplay is just filler in the background of me utilizing a power position, but that's what we're going to talk about today, power positions. Now, I played with the idea a while back of making a map guide, showing all my favorite spots on each map. And then I thought, why would I do that? Because if I did that, everybody who watches the videos who thought the spots would be viable would constantly fight over those spots. So instead of doing that, I'm going to give you guys just kind of like a ground type thing, a basis on what a power position is, how to find them, and then you guys can experiment for yourself and find your favorite spots on each map. And I think that's about it. So this is my personal favorite spot on jungle. So I am going to show you one of my power positions, quote unquote. And it's a really good spot because it holds a lane of the map. And when I say lanes, different traffic areas of the map, high traffic areas where a lot of tanks go through, will give you big gains if you camp a spot that watches that high traffic area. War Thunder maps are not the easiest. Something like Advance to the Rhine has a lot less lanes to cover than something like Kursk, where there are no lanes. Everything is just an open field. So when I say a power position, I'm meaning maps with lanes. Jungle has lanes. There's a bridge on each side that goes to A, where the radio tower is. There's a moon type road that goes around to the left of those bridges. There's the beach, and then there's the middle area. So you think of the map in separate lanes. Now, I used to play Call of Duty a lot. I used to play a lot of Call of Duty tournaments. And that's how you would think of the map. You had lanes, and if you're playing domination, you'd want to hold those choke points so the enemies couldn't come cap your point. It's the same thing for War Thunder, any video game for that matter. So I'm going to go up to this hill and hold a left lane. Power positions give you the best bang for your buck, in a sense, of map positioning. Map positioning is very important, and we often overlook it. When I say we, I mean other YouTubers, other tutorial makers of War Thunder, other players, community members, everybody. We mostly overlook these power positions on maps when we're talking about how to get better at the game. We tend to just say this tank versus this tank. This tank's better than this tank. We compare vehicles, but certain vehicles are good in different positions. And I've started to notice that a lot more as I've played War Thunder. It's kind of it should be a no-brainer, but as you play more and more and more and you get to a higher level, you start to notice these small little differences in vehicles that help them in certain situations. So I've been trying to implement that when I play. If I do bad in a certain vehicle, I try to say now that it's not just the vehicle that's bad. It may just be how I'm playing. For example, the 268. I don't like the 268. I think it's a pretty bad vehicle, and it has a very limited use. It's only good in certain situations, and I don't like that. I think I like more flexible tanks that move a little bit faster and can be used in separate areas. But I want to make that known. Somebody else could make the 268 work if they're patient and they know a good spot for it. So, power positions. I'm in one right now. I'm watching the left side of the map, and it is just funneling me kills. And this is basically how I find most success in this game, is getting myself kills, or getting kills funneled to me. Anybody who has major games, massive games, aside from those blind luck games like I showed you earlier on today, where I took the T-34 out, drove across the map, and killed people, consistency is made from people knowing the map. You become a very consistent player, and you can get consistent, 4 kills per game. When you understand the map, you know where you're positioning yourself to see enemy tanks. The more enemy tanks you see, the more shots you take, the more kills you can possibly get. Like Michael Jordan once said, right? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you don't take shots at enemy tanks, how can you get kills for them? How can you stat pad? How can you do any of that? So if you start to put yourself in advantageous positions, you'll start to notice you get more kills per game. You start to notice your just overall awareness goes up because you're aware that you're going to a spot. You're aware of where the enemy spawns. You're aware of where they're going to be coming from. And you will just become a better player overall. So this obviously isn't a advanced tutorial. I'm sure a lot of you guys know good spots on certain maps, and you just have to find the other ones. But just becoming comfortable in a vehicle and becoming comfortable of what it can do, how much gun depression it has, you'll start to find spots that will really, really be good for the tank. So you see here, I took out a lot of guys on the road. I think that was 4 or 5. And then I come over here and look to the left and kind of just sit, because I know that there's tigers that moved up to the bridge and I didn't want to get outflanked. So I decided to come sit here and just check my flank while we're waiting. You know, it's not all about kills, especially in Sim. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get outflanked and die. After I sat there for, a good 30 seconds, I tell myself, maybe there's nobody over there, and I could decide to move out. But that was pretty much a small, 6-minute footage of me using a power position, and this happens all the time. Advance to the Rhine, if somebody goes to Monument and they hold the road coming from spawn, they're going to have a lot of success. They're going to get a lot of kills that way. It's just like that on every map. So we need to, if you want to get better at the game, I say but if you want to get better at the game, you need to start finding good spots on the map to go to and kind of run a route. When I play, every map I play in this game, I have a favorite spot. I have a favorite side. I usually go to the same spot every time because I know how to play that spot particularly well. And it doesn't really change. Now, it's good to expand your horizon and try different things out, but when you have that tried and true path that you take through the map that you've had success with in the past, it usually works because it's a good position. It doesn't work because you're amazing, right? I understand that this game wasn't a result of me being amazing. It was purely the result of me going to a position where enemies were just going to feed me. There was no gun battles. There was no angling. There was no crazy accuracy. There was no crazy sniping. It was just purely me catching the enemies off guard while they were rolling through this spot. The first tank I killed was the only show of skill during this entire game. I kind of had a snapshot on him, and he probably wouldn't have penned me or killed me had he had the first shot. Regardless, Panthers are pretty trolly, but I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying along these lines. Awareness is the biggest thing in this game. It goes from awareness, map knowledge, and then skill, I think. And skill is obviously a combination of all the traits you have, but I mean fundamental skill. I don't mean anything else. I mean, being able to drive your tank and shoot and turn the tank and whatnot. But knowing where to go and putting yourself in those spots is a very important trait. A lot of people, overlook it. A lot of people just like to hold W and drive and shoot, and they get mad when they're not penetrating and stuff. There's a lot more behind the scenes that you need to do to put yourself in better positions to not bounce, and better positions to catch the enemy off guard, and better positions to get the first shot. I almost ended my game right here because I drove into the water, not knowing that I was gonna drown had I stayed there for more than 5 seconds. So that's situational awareness. That's just being a smart player. There is, regardless of how well you can aim in this game, how well you know weak spots, how well you can kill tanks, if you're not in the proper position, you're not going to be as effective as you can be. And I think that's just common sense, but that's what I want to make this video on. I figured I haven't made a tutorial video in quite some time. I had this footage that I could use post-commentary for, and I figured we would talk about that. So what are your guys' favorite spots? Let me know in the comments down below so I can take them from you and use them in my game. I'm kidding. But if you agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any constructive criticism, let me know. We can have a conversation, an open thread. That's kind of what the comment section does. We can talk about things. If you liked the video, if it helped you out, let me know. If it did help you out, let me know. I'm curious about that. If you saw this video and you said, hey, maybe I'm gonna think about where I'm gonna go next time, and then you get 7 kills, I'm happy. That's making the player base better. Also, we all need to go play 6.7 Germany because it is currently dead as fuck. My door's up. I'm going to go move into my apartment. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bitter pill keep throwing you back. Nothing but empty sugar, no high, just crash. Tongue got me numb. I lose the words to tell myself how much you hurt. But bitter pill keep throwing you back.